What does it look like when business people are driven by the Spirit of God in everything that they do? What does it look like to drive a business on excellence? What does it look like to have a team that operates like a well-oiled German machine? We all know about German machines. Welcome to Fearless Business, and it is wonderful to have you here every Sunday morning, engaging, connecting, commenting, sharing, and inviting your friends. It is always wonderful to have you. Fearless Business has been around now for 1 year. We are talking 50 episodes and counting. And you know what? It's so amazing. Just the things that God has used this simple sacrifice before Him to impact many lives. This was the vision of one great man that has ministered to my life, to my host's life over the years, none other than Pastor Murenga. And we celebrate you, man of God. We honor you. We thank you for allowing us to be part of this great vision. Now, we want to hear from you how this has impacted your life, how this has impacted your business, and the changes that you're making. You never know. A friend of yours could be watching you testify, and that becomes the turnaround for their business. We know of people that have changed the way they do their business, have changed the way they price their commodities, have changed the way they are even activating and leading their people. And in this season where at Mavuno we are talking about discipleship, the Fearless Summit will actually be coming up soon in July 2nd to 4th. Fearless Summit, and the theme is Be Fruitful. How do we disciple people into a space where they can own, not just be accountable, but bring ownership, because they're coming on not just as employees, but they're coming on as sons. They're coming on as family members, as people that believe in what it is that we are doing in our organizations. You're looking for transformation, ownership in your business. You want to be at the Fearless Summit this year, 2026, and you want to make sure that your team is there as well. So individual tickets are 6,000 Kenya shillings, $47, 47 USDs. And if you're looking for a group ticket, we talk about 55,000 Kenya shillings. I'm forgetting what that is in USD. But you will see the flyer. It's posted in there. Please make sure that you get your team here. For a group of 10, you get a discount and you get to pay less than by a whole 5,000 shillings. You want to take that advantage. You're a business person, you know. But more than that is that you can even showcase your products on the Fearless, during the Fearless Summit. That is 3 days, 2 days actually. And if you want to do the Sunday as well, you can do that. Of you showcasing your product and engaging with potential customers and potential partners. We'll have a business engage afternoon where we get businesses to network. We intend to have a deal room where people can actually come together and do deals. Those will have to have pre-planned in advance. We will have a matchmaking session where you can come and meet people that you can potentially partner with. We want to curate a time of engagement and networking with other people in the marketplace as we challenge one another to shift culture to a kingdom mindset. But welcome back to this episode, because we are talking about excellence, an excellent spirit. And I have the most amazing guest that you could ever have. She looks amazing every day because she pays attention to excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, Apostle Angie Murenga.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful to be here today.
It's
Very
been so
happy.
awesome having you here so far. And the conversation just keep running away from us.
Conversation.
And I've loved them.
So have I.
Yeah.
So engaging.
In the first episode, we talked about the spirit of excellence. And in the second episode, in the first episode, we talked about the spirit of excellence. And we really talked about how the Spirit of God comes upon you and shifts a few things in your life. The Spirit of God is the spirit of wisdom. He's the spirit of understanding. He's the spirit of counsel, of might, of knowledge. and of the fear of the Lord. That with these things, excellence begins to ooze out of you. Everything you do becomes about excellence. Then we talked about in our last episode, Bezalel and Aholiab. When the Lord puts upon you the Spirit, His Spirit to do good work, skills, upgrading your skills. And we ended it by saying, you need to work your craft so much that when the Lord is recommending someone for his great work in a certain space, he will recommend you. Literally, God gave us Bezalel's CV, his resume. God drafted it out with all the things he could do. This guy is good with metal, all kinds of metal, precious metals to be precise, because they are delicate. This guy is good with dealing with precious jewels. He's good at dealing with wood and even how to engrave them and set them. Hish, this was the testimony of God about the skill of one man that he wanted specifically involved in the building of his tabernacle. Today, we take it further, and we want to unpack this conversation further. We started to talk about order, process, and order. And we mentioned systems. And systems is really how you put order and process into systems. And we're looking at the story of someone that I was surprised, by the way. You know, sometimes we read the Bible, then we just read through it.
Just read too quickly.
But most recently, as we've been reading the scriptures, this is maybe the fourth time of annual Bible reading. The story of David jumped at me differently. We know as David as a warrior. We know him as a worshipper. We know him as a leader, and how God picked him from being a shepherd who was even forgotten.
Yes.
But what I didn't realize was that David brought order to the service of God in the temple. His biggest contribution was creating systems and order in the temple. And we see this in Corinthians. We see this in Chronicles, actually, First Kings and Chronicles, where we see David actually bringing order into the temple. And he organizes the priests, he organizes the musicians, he organizes the gatekeepers, he organizes the treasurers, and he organizes the leaders. But for the first time, we see the army being organized in ranks, according people over 50, people over hundreds, people over thousands. What happens when growth outpaces? We see David doing this, and it was very interesting. Just thinking, why is it that order is such an important expression of excellence?
Because you can't do anything without order. It's an expression of excellence, but it's an expression of leadership of every area of life.
Come on,
if
Apostle.
you don't have any order, we can't do anything.
Come on, Apostle. For years, I think this is why I really struggled in your space.
Yes.
Because I came as this guy I'm a yellow.
I'm a red.
You're a red.
But you say I'm in red.
You're in red.
I am a red.
I'm a yellow.
Really?
And as a yellow,
oh, I apologize.
So let me explain.
Apologize in advance.
So when you're looking at personality types and the different personality tools that you can use, and one of the ones I use is something we call Lumina. And a yellow is a happy-go-lucky guy. First of all, they enter spaces and bond with everyone suddenly, and you could think, well, you know that guy? No, I just met him. Before you can introduce them, they've introduced themselves and gotten to know what the other person does. But what was interesting about being a yellow is we go with the flow. We wing it in every space. We show up and plans for who, routines for who, systems for who. Once we arrive, we show you how this thing is done. As I'm getting older, I'm discovering the folly of operating like that. I've discovered it, actually. I've seen how it's cost me. Yes, I've seen how it's cost me, by the way, in various spaces. Because I've come out of spaces thinking, I could have done better.
Yes, in that space. But you see, I'm also like you. I do flow.
Yeah. You do flow.
But first we create the order.
Then
we flow.
And I think that's critical, because for many, and it started in my youth. And for many Gen Zs today, it's like, what do you mean? Why is there order?
There has to be
and order. Alphas is even worse. But I think, even though I think alphas will even cane us. Because those ones seem to be very clear about the things they want.
They want to do.
But when you look at Gen Zs, many times, why are we dressing up?
Because
as
you
we talk
have
about
to.
excellence? Why are we
Because there's
sitting in a certain
order.
order?
We have to
Why
sit in
do
a
I have
certain
to wear
order.
socks that are the same color?
You must.
Why do I wear socks that are solid colors? Or for that matter, even though they brought some life into our lives. But I'd like us to really unpack that. This thing about order, why is it so important?
Because nothing can function well without order. You see, we have to order cities, we have to order roads, we have to, for me, as a sales distributor, as a person working in sales, I remember one of the first assignments I did when I got into the organization was to change the distribution. Because we were going everywhere.
Yes.
So I created routes, routes to market. I said, okay, Monday we go this route, Tuesday we go this. Let me tell you, of course, people don't like,
People don't like change.
Hey, the uproar was for madness. There was a lot of uproar, but I was like, no. And it helps, you see. And then I think orderly.
Yes.
So if we're going to go this way, we start here at the factory. The factory was in the industrial area.
Yes.
Where are we going? Which route are we going to follow? Do you know what is amazing, Pastor CJ?
Yeah.
Like, even if a restaurant is on the wrong side of the road to where I'm going, I won't stop. Anyway, let me go back to my distributing things in the market.
Wait a minute. Wait. No. You can't just skim
You have
over
to go
that.
back, then you
explain.
get
You may
back
be
there.
helping somebody in distribution today.
I can't.
That if the restaurant is on that side and your route is this one, you don't start U-turning and crossing the road to go.
No, because that's too much drama. And then even if I'm picking you up, let's say we're going on a trip. So this is the road we're using. I'm going to pick you up on the most convenient place on this side of the road.
On the left
I'm
left-hand
not
side of the
picking you
road,
from across the road. It just messes with my thinking. It can be done, but it will mess with my thinking. Let me go back to my route to market for my coffee.
Let's go back there.
So I created order, tell the driver, so we're moving from here.
And
so
this
we
was
move
route to market for coffee.
For coffee.
It's important. Somebody may be in the coffee business and they may
it's for coffee.
come for
But it's for anything you're distributing. Don't distribute we would go everywhere. So I'd say no, Monday. So I took a map of the city.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So the picture in my head is that you're going to a certain area. And then you meet 3 of your colleagues and their cars doing rounds on that route.
Also, there was too much inefficiency. Because while we cross the Barrow to Westlands, we cross to Kiambu, we cross. So I said no more. Every day now, we must do. So this is how. So the truck leaves here. This is the way it goes in an orderly manner. So it goes that way, and then it comes back this way. That's it. To the factory. That was order.
That is the route map.
Let me give you another one, because I was rewarded and awarded for increasing sales. Things like,
she's award-winning, guys. She's award-winning in sales.
No, but
just
in the organization, but in the organization. So, like I said, okay, this is. So I told you, I think the way, what's the consumer going to think? Yeah. So then I created orders system where all orders, like for this brand, like that, it was Nakumat or something else of my clients, must be done on Thursdays. We have one day for collecting LPOs, orders,
one day for collecting LPOs and orders. From all our clients.
From all our clients. From our certain clients.
From certain clients.
From certain clients. So we created order in when deliveries, when they make their orders. First of all, that just those things increase business by 32%.
Oh.
Because what would happen is, that's what I don't like, even when I go out to supermarkets, I hate stockouts.
Yes.
Because you see, I'm a creature of habit. They're very annoying. So I'm always like, the other day, not even that, I'm always on the phone, and it's not my business, but I'm like, excuse me, do you have, what's that thing we called? Where you get to a certain stock level, then you reorder. Do you have a reorder level? Now imagine I'm lecturing people and I was ordering something. But I'm like, no. Because the thing I hate is to get here and find my product is not here. I don't like that.
I'm a coffee drinker.
Yes.
I'm a coffee drinker, and there's some people I'm going to Anika right now. I'll not mention their name. But guys, please make sure the coffee filters are in the supermarket.
Yes, I really hate it. And then they tell you, to my order. You know, that's so Kenyan. Like, what do you mean to my order? I'm here now.
And it's not here.
It's not here. And then the other thing I used to do, so I even used to educate my merchandisers, my sales team. My sales teams, they really did not like me. But at the end, after a long time of understanding my space, they understood why. Because then I'm like, first of all, you give somebody an opportunity to buy another product. You know, I'm thinking, it's me. It's a customer.
Yes.
So I've come. I want coffee or the coffee filters. So if my brand is not here,
yeah,
I then say, okay, what's the other brand? So I then opportunity to choose another brand, which then creates problems because I might not come back to your brand.
Exactly.
But you see, if my brand had been there, I would not have had to choose.
I would not have had to. In
Oh
fact,
my
I've never seen them until now.
Until now. So it was hard to explain to people.
My.
You do not have stock out. So first of all, it makes sure that the shelves are always replenished.
Yes.
There's a reorder level. Yes. It's not a suggestion. Yes. When the coffee gets to this level, we reorder.
My theory, Apostle, is that there's a certain supermarket that is no longer in business because they allowed people to look for an alternative.
Yes, they did. You can't look for alternatives when you're in business. Your product must be where it's supposed to be, placed exactly where it's supposed to be. They
messed up with something over there and allowed people to look for an alternative.
So I love order. So order creates, I was just thinking how practically when I was working in sales and marketing, that's what we did. We made sure that our product was on the shelf. We even now went a step further. At that point, they were introducing these things called, it's not English, where they brand your product.
Yes.
So we brand the product and have all our product there.
Yes,
you see now,
the merchandising
but it's also, you own your event, your shelf space.
Oh, yes.
You see, you can't come and put another product there.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But now, in order to make sure that shelf space is always packed, so you have merchandise, you see order. You have merchandisers. They go around to the shop floors.
That.
They were already there.
Okay.
But I'm saying this is still order.
Now
it's an element of order. You need the merchandisers to go and make sure that the shelves look okay, and your product is looking okay in the
prominently positioned,
easily with visibility. You see, that's it. That's order. Then you need your salespeople to come and deliver the order. Then you need somebody to make the order. So I also got the merchandisers to be friends with the people who are making the order, so that your order is always, where have we made our order? Can we place our order? Send the order. So you see, everything in life is required in order.
Yeah.
When a woman is going to give birth, you need order.
Yeah.
That is not the place for disorder. There has to be so much order in terms of having the baby. There has to be order when you're getting married, when you're inviting somebody else into your life. Oh, I don't even understand. So you ask the question, but we need order in everything. You can imagine if you got to the airport and all ran for the aeroplane. What is that now?
Surely.
There is an order. Which
plane are you running?
But you asked me about order.
Yes.
So we need order. We need order how to board them. They board. I don't know which zone fast. That's all order. It can be annoying to you, but it's order. So that things happen in an orderly fashion. You can imagine even the air controllers. If we just release aeroplanes into the atmosphere, they will collide. So I think your question was, we need order. Everything in life requires order. And in order for it to move well, function well, with the excellence that's required, we need order.
And thinking about order, it's really the essence of systems.
It is.
It starts with a process.
It is.
A step-by-step
that's
way
a good
towards
one.
achieving
But it's
that
the essence of the system.
It's the essence of systems. Because look at a car. The other day, one of my cars had been touched by somebody, and there's something they did not return properly.
You see now?
So I'm happy-go-lucky. My car's been at the garage. It's working. Then we hit rumble strips, and the car dies.
Goes off, yeah. So it's a problem.
My expert driving skills, so many years of driving, put it in neutral, try and crank, nothing. Do you know how scary that is when you're on the inner lane of a superhighway with trucks coming behind? So I maneuver it to the side. It's not starting, so I maneuver it to the side and park. Calling people. I finally find some guys who come and check. And my fuel pump is not working. Is not pumping fuel. The car is not receiving fuel. So I'm like, why isn't my car receiving fuel? It has fuel. And so after we open, we realize we've opened everything, fuel pump, everything, only to come and realize there's a loose connection.
Just that. You see?
I'm like,
you see order?
A loose connection cost me an entire evening.
Imagine.
Because I was supposed to do a quick errand, and now that was stopped. Had to move to the next day. Now I have a car that has been opened up. It's costing money. So lack of order will cost you money, will cost you time, and will cost you customers. So it's really the essence.
It's the essence of everything.
Process.
The essence of process. I like that. And systems.
We see David organizing the priests and musicians and gatekeepers towards building something you mentioned, about efficiency. What is the disaster of, and one you mentioned it when you're talking about your story, when growth outpaces structure and order.
When growth outspaces, so you've grown too much, and now the structure and the capacity cannot hold you.
Or your growth is overtaking.
Things that they're going to collapse.
Yeah.
It's all going to come to nothing. Remember, even with the fish and
yes.
Look, you see, it's all going to come to nothing, and that's why that's a good example, because he was ordering the priests.
Yeah.
He said the priests and the temple people in the temple,
the gatekeepers.
So if
and the army,
if the structures are not able to hold the growth, then the growth will just fizzle out. You see, because you see, God is intentional. He wanted people to come to the temple. He wanted people to worship him. He wanted people to bring their offerings. He even wanted people at some point to build the temple,
Yes.
So
and the population is increasing.
Yes, and so he's creating capacity for himself. He's creating capacity for his movement.
Wow.
He's creating capacity for his growth, for his glory, for people to grow, for people to be transformed, for people to be reconciled back to him. This is what he's trying to do. So if your capacity will not allow that to happen, or the growth the outgrowth outdoes the structure, we'll have a problem. It's even like a room. If a room is supposed to be the structure, it's supposed to have 100 people, and 200 people come. That's danger. That's danger. That's dangerous.
In very many ways, by the way.
Because you've exceeded your capacity.
Yes.
Then how are the people, if the things, windows, doors, communication, microphones, all those things are not going to work because they've been overstretched. So facilities, toilets and places for it's parking.
Power.
It's too much.
One of the things that's currently a pet peeve of mine is just how power distribution. I can't remember the last time we had 240 volts. So even having equipment on
and it bursts the equipment
just becomes a challenge.
Yeah.
But just even beginning to think as your business is growing, are you actually paying attention to the growth, the structures?
Yeah. And then also maybe paying attention to, if we grow, let's say when you're doing a business, so you have one employee, because we're talking about teams, one employee and yourself.
Yeah.
What if the growth happens? What other structure do I need to put in place so that the growth stays in place? Is it people? Is it the property? Is it the product? Do I need to increase the number of products that I have? Yeah. You really must think through those things.
And even customers.
Yes, customers.
As your customer base is increasing, many of us are saying we want more customers.
Diversifying.
But I remember this nice chips joints. You find a place that have nice chips and chicken. Then today you're just 5, it's okay. Tomorrow you're 10, it's okay. When the line starts going outside the door, you're having a crisis.
Yeah, and there's some people who will not make the line.
Yeah.
There are people who will not queue.
Yeah.
So what do you do for those kind of customers? Even online, I remember a supermarket which near where I live, it had been there for 50 years actually, they said. But they actually closed because they wouldn't diversify. They wouldn't, people started going into deliveries, they wouldn't just do that. It's so simple.
Yeah.
So they just wanted the same model. You come to the supermarket.
People liked what they had.
But you have to change. If the times are changing, seasons are changing, people want convenience more than they want your products. They want, okay, I like your product. How are you going to get it to me? Yeah. That's important. So it's a structure, it's a system, it's a process. New things are happening, and you have to be willing to change with those things. And even like you said, you're asking new customers to come, but have you thought about what this new customer wants or needs?
Or even you're looking for another level of customer who pays more without drama. But is your business designed for that customer?
To speak to them and to help them not have their drama.
Yeah, one of the things, one of the organization I started working with recently deals with what we call the alpha type people. And these people expect to be engaged in a certain way. They expect to be there's a certain way they like to operate. And it became very apparent some people cannot lead those groups. Because literally it will be like herding cats. Everyone has a mind of their own. These people need decisive, direct communication to be able to harness them. And when you harness them, to bring them together,
then they do great things.
Results for you. What are some of the signs that indicate that a leader needs stronger systems?
Stronger systems and structure. I think what you said first was growth.
Yeah.
So if there's growth, that you need now stronger systems and culture. If you're losing business, maybe you need to see why are we losing our business or our potential. because there's something there. So it's actually looking, I think it's indicative from the customer. The customer will tell you if all of a sudden people stop buying your product, they want to buy another product. That could be something in your structures or system, or you have a lot of maybe deliveries, but they're not all going out.
Yeah.
So you have something like a blockage in how you're delivering or distributing. So you just look at the things that maybe, like you say, we've prayed for, we want, but now they're looking to be a problem. Yeah.
And I think for me, one of the things I've also observed is when you're looking to move to the next level. For example, you've stagnated. You've stagnated at a certain point, and every attempt to move to the next level seems futile. And so it's a sign that your capacity needs to increase to the next level. Like one of the things I realized, many church planters are normally asking, "Oh, we need more numbers," until somebody broke down what it looks like to get more numbers. And just the moving from 10 people to 20 people, you need certain things. Moving from 50, from 20 to 50, from 30 to 50, you need certain things in there. Moving from 50 to 100 requires a different way of operation. By the time you're doing 1,000,
you're operating.
And what that did is that it really gave me perspective about even my expectations and my projections. Because then it meant for me to move here,
you have to do certain things.
First of all, I can't be the only pastor at 1,000. I can't be the only leader. And that's why when David is doing this, because by the time David is taking over, we are now talking about there are several million people. And he realizes the army is huge. The priests are many. Levites are being born every day. So the priests are many. And then everybody was doing everything, because then there were people that God had given instructions. But over time, there were too many people in different spaces. So he creates shifts. He creates almost like schedules for people to rotate. There are some in the morning, some in the afternoon, some in the beginning of the week. And it was just interesting to see him put that order in place. No wonder later on, when the Queen of Sheba is visiting Solomon, she's finding an operation
she's
because
like, wow,
this guy has been raised in a space where there was order. David spent years preparing for something, and this is just now thinking about building beyond yourself. He prepared for, he wants to build a temple. God tells him,
you can't build the temple.
You're not building the temple. So he begins to prepare for something that he would never build, showing just his extraordinary level of leadership. Thinking about stewardship and legacy, how does order play into stewardship and legacy?
You see, for me, the one I'd like to say is like when you're running a race. You know, they say when you're running a race, especially a relay, running is as important as passing the baton. That really...
Ebu, unpack that properly for us.
You see, because if you drop the baton, you're disqualified.
You may have come fast.
You're disqualified.
You may have arrived fast. You may have run properly.
It negates how fast you run.
Dropping the baton itself.
So when you see people practicing for a relay race, they practice the handoff.
So that they don't.
So it's not only just the one handing it over, it's the one receiving it.
And with which
and you can't look back. You know, you can't look back. So that's a lot of practice as well. So for me, legacy means that it's possible to drop this thing and we can't drop it. So it's not just what we've done and how we've run, but how we are passing it on. And I'm really blessed because recently I'm working with my daughter and my son within the Just Angie Legacy table, which is such a blessing, you know. But it's because it's a handoff. It has to be, and I'm not going anywhere yet, but I'm preparing. So if you guys need to take over this thing, you know what to do. You know what you need to do, what you need to action, what are the moving parts of all these things. It's important. So I think for me, it's about legacy, and growing legacy is about being able to pass on the baton to the next generation. And you see, when we look at now Christianity, the Bible says that there are many believers there's a great cloud of witnesses. So you see, those people have been handing over the baton over centuries and over years. But they're still waiting. I feel like they're watching us. How we are handling this thing, because they can't celebrate. They can't celebrate because this baton keeps moving, and we have to see how it's being handed over. Is it being handed over well in terms of legacy, in terms of understanding what we're handing over? And you know, like for my late dad, when before my dad passed, we were like asking him what would like with his legacy, how he'd like to be remembered. We're actually surprised with the answer. And one of the things he said is that he would like a school. We're like, a school? Like, you're in insurance, school? Why school? Just ask the right questions so that you can do the right handover and the right strengthening. And even what do they need to know? What is it that they need to know to continue to uphold this legacy, to continue to grow it and to build it? Yeah.
Interesting. As you talk about it, one of the things that really resonated with me when I started working in the impact investment space was sustainable, building businesses that are sustainable, are replicable, first of all, sustainable, transferable, generational. And when talking about transferable, you can pass it, you can hand it over to someone else, you can sell it, or you can take it to another geography. It's operating in Kenya, take it to Uganda. And the only way that happens is if you've developed a certain order of ensuring you deliver the same
and how do we do this?
Over and over again.
Yeah, you deliver the same value.
Yeah.
I always find that even any business you start in any part of Africa can be replicated in any part of Africa. And that's important because we sort of have the same. Maybe you have to tweak one or two things, but anything that you can create somewhere and it works can be replicated in another market. And that's important.
We've seen many leaders build organizations that depend entirely
on them.
What does excellent succession planning actually look like? And I like the story of your dad. I think every time you've told the story of your dad and how he planned himself has always been interesting. But what does excellent succession planning look like?
I think if it works, it has to work. I think one of the things that we would like, if you can do it when you're alive, which is important, is to see it working when you're still here, but you're seeing it working. I think that's important. Excellence execution looks like when I think about there's a community in our nation that starts the children early in the business. So the earlier they can see and understand this business and why it moves. There's something else I've seen where another generation has made the business more successful.
Yes, that's true.
That one has fascinated me. And it's like the parents, for some of the ones that I know, the parents were retiring. They were like, okay, us guys, we're done. The children are all over the world because these days we have global citizens. And they say, okay, you guys, we're done. Yeah, us guys are done. So we're handing over this. So we want to sell this. Then the kids come back and just take it to another level, which is so exciting because then it can go from generation to generation. Because what works in this generation, now here comes a whole digital savvy generation, people who are relying on deliveries, people who want to order things online. I never thought I'd order anything online. For real, because I was like, I have to go touch, feel, smell, be there. I'm connect with it, then I can buy it. I used to say that. But now I'm one of the most amazing online shoppers. I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked at myself. So I think it's taking, like now my dad would probably not understand online and all this drama about things moving through the internet, but another generation comes that understands and now is able to take it to the next level. I think that's important. So excellent succession is if we can actually hand over that baton successfully in whatever stage, whether you're still here but you're just retiring, let the next generation take it up. But then you have to also prepare them. You have to prepare them.
Back to preparation, eh?
Yeah, you have to prepare them so that they understand the vision, understand the responsibility. I'm always saying with my siblings and also telling the next generation, we have to build. We're not taking, we have to build. You were left, you have to build on that, in that inheritance. And you guys also have to build on it. So I think that's what successful succession is. And maybe when a bit of a worrying one, I think just personally because of your of character is not character of personality, is to see it doing better than when you were there. I think it's hard as well. Because you're like, oh my God, this was my baby. You see, like even with Althea and Matu, as soon as they came onto the legacy table, the numbers soared. I'm like, that's right.
You're like,
actually, this morning I was comforting myself. Thank you, Pastor M. We've mentioned Pastor M a lot. Pastor M really encouraged me. He told me it doesn't matter even if they saw. You are the foundation.
You're the foundation.
You are the one who started. You please pat yourself on the back. You started, and you've laid a foundation which they can now build on. They're not starting to build from scratch.
That's true.
This is another thing I love about succession. It's not building from scratch. When you look at generations, I know sometimes we have negative statements that we make about generations, but you're supposed to be making each generation better. Like if my father left me a home, that helps. I'm not running around looking for rent and everything. He set me on a different foundation. So I'm now supposed to also do the same and do more for the next generation. Because that's the thing. We need excellent succession is that this thing is working, it's succeeding, it's morphing into new and varied things. And for us, I think sometimes they've said that it's not politics, but the problem is that we don't have a foundation that we can say generation upon generation, line upon line, foundation upon foundation. And that's what each of us needs to be trying to do. Is there a line? Is there a foundation? Have we built on this thing? We can take different shapes, but have we built on it? Have we built? It's going to be interesting to see what Althea does, Althea and Matu does. I want to see my granddaughter on that platform. Come on at that point and let's see what they build it. So I think that's excellent succession, that it's working, that it's handed over. And maybe the thing is also to successfully hand over. You can't keep holding on to it. It's a whole new world. You know, I used to watch something called The Different World. And I didn't understand, but it's true. It's a different world. Even me, it's by the grace of God that I'm here able to use my AI tools. There's some I can't even use. But it's because it's a whole different world. It's a different world, But now Alora's going to come in, she's using things. You're like, who taught you that? Like, how did you know that? Because it's about their generation. So let each generation carry the excellence and carry the business, the product, the development into new levels. I think that's, for me, is excellent succession.
I really like what you're saying, because I think sometimes the founders, or those who, the first generation business people, constrain the business. And I'm reminded
at some point you constrain it.
And I'm reminded of the story of this gentleman who, his father has taken him to school, Ivy League. He's become all these amazing things. He's learned all these things about business. Has an MBA, comes back with an MBA. And then the day he arrives and starts suggesting some things they can change with the business with his dad calls him into his bedroom and shows him a closet and says, open that closet. So he opens the closet. And his dad has his old clothes from when he started this business. And his dad says,
you can fit into this.
That is where I started.
Yeah, but...
So between there and there is what I have done. What is it that you have done that you can now advise me?
He can. He can advise you because he's operating in a world where you're not.
Exactly.
They're in a world where you're not, where you can't possibly know things. You know, one day, David, I landed at a hotel with Althea. Thank God I was with Althea. I would have slept on the street.
Oh, really?
Who knew that you can punch in numbers? There was no, I was like, where are the people? I arrived at the reception. Where there's no person, it's a door. I was like, okay. Do you know it is Althea who knew to put the reservation, put in, I don't know, some numbers? It dispensed keys. Me, all this time, I'm in shock.
Already.
Do you know, I have a booking and I'd have slept on the street.
Wow.
I don't know what to do.
Don't know what to do. And there was no one there to tell you what to do.
Thank God she was there.
Wow.
So we have to, they understand their world, they understand the way their world is working, what people are looking for, what people want to see. It's okay. You have to at some point hand over and let them try. And that's why I love the community that brings in people early as well.
So I'm hearing several things. One, establish the business.
Yes.
Put in place order. Build it in such a way that other people can come and do it. Because the only reason why it still depends on you is because you're the only one who knows what is pressed, which key opens which door. In fact, until you have arrived, no one can enter the office.
No,
what are you doing?
You have to develop, you have to
give someone else the keys.
You have to let them bring in new ideas, bring in diverse levels of business, bring in new audiences, bring in new markets. What does that market want? How does that market operating? I think it's just amazing. So you have to let go. And I think also another thing which I learned, and I think I learned from Oprah, is to learn when to let go. Remember when she was now saying, okay, that's it. She's bowing out gracefully. I think that's a good thing because sometimes you have to know when it's time to let go, and then you bow out gracefully and let the next generation come in and take. She still went back now to producing and all that, but I like where she stopped it. She stopped it at success. I have been successful. Sometimes I think when we hold on too long, then that's when all the mistakes and the drama happen. Yeah.
It then speaks about an aspect of empowering then the people.
Yes.
Empowering people. How do you know when you're empowering and when you're controlling outcomes?
That's a good question.
You now have 15 people carrying this vision around different geographies. How do you know when you're empowering?
I think for me, especially, is to stop is when I stopped micromanaging. So I actually don't know what. Okay, so I stopped micromanaging, but I've prepared them enough to understand that they know what I need done and how it's executed. So I also feel like there's an element of my DNA that's in them, and then they know the way I think.
Oh, yes.
There's an element of the DNA, they agree.
Yes.
So there's an element of the DNA.
I'm not sure your DNA is even for choosing. I think you just pass it on and which is interesting about the conversation I had us to have after that. But yes,
and it's interesting about the DNA because I never, like when I go to places, people say, "Oh, those your sons have your DNA."
You have your DNA.
There was never a lesson on DNA.
No.
That's the crazy thing. Like we never sat and said, "This is how you pray, this is how you do this." But they've watched me, they've lived with me, they've modeled to me, which is still the same discipleship model as Jesus.
Power of discipling.
Life on life.
Yes.
And living together. That was even crazy because they lived together, ate together, drank. So everything they did together. So it's amazing how you model. The other day, a parent was telling me how they've sufficiently trained their child in a certain way, but this child spending time with some kids who are acting babies has already begun to rub off on her child. So you have to be careful. Because the children are like sponges. They just pick up everything that's in the environment. That's why you have to be careful of the environment. So what was the question again? Association. What was the question again?
The difference between empowering and
controlling. So when you're trying to micromanage, that's controlling. And then I told you the outcomes don't have to be the same. I think for me, when I had a conversation with myself, but it must have been Holy Spirit led in order to stop controlling, because it was like I wanted to go. So the analogy the Holy Spirit gave me is you want to go to Mombasa, let's say. You want to go to a location. So you could take a train, you could drive, you could take an aeroplane, you could take a bus. On top of driving, you can drive, break the journey, let's say, because we know where Mombasa is. I can stop in Mutito one day, spend 2 nights there, and then move on, isn't it? The whole idea is, did we get to
Mombasa?
That's it. It's not how we got there.
Cast vision.
Which, let me tell you, was for me so hard because I wanted to do it exactly the way I would do it.
Yes.
But I had to let go. Like,
go
no.
Here. Are
we going to get to where we want to go?
Yes.
That's it. So how people get there, despite me wanting to roll my eyes, they could even take a train. They could, as long as we get there.
Let's meet in Mombasa.
Let's meet there.
Yeah.
Is that where we want to go? Yeah. That's where we want to go. So I think that's what happened. You have to not control people, even on the journey, but you have to trust. For me, I feel like you have trust that you have equipped them enough to execute with excellence. Yeah. I think some of the scary things for me have been, and they've worked out well, is when I have an event and I'm in another country. And my whole life is spirit-led. So I'm somewhere else. So I arrived 2 days before the event. 2 days before the event, and I just show up. That took a lot out of me as well.
Yes, because you are used to being in the
for
thick
micromanaging of it. What is happening, what every detail. So enough, the ability, the grace to know that you've empowered people enough to execute. And you come and the event is amazing.
Wow.
And sometimes even, I remember your season. Yeah. Your season, I was away and I was so sad that they didn't need me. Like my phone was not ringing. I'm like, no. Explain it by itself. That really, so your season. Nobody. Yes. That's when I came and I had, there's a David in class. Where did David come from? Because Tony Rogoro had come. Yes. But that's another one. So when you let them go, when you go away and then it works, it flows so seamlessly, it's also annoying. It is very annoying. You're like, what do you mean they don't need you? Yeah. You're supposed to need me. You're supposed to call me every day, ask me. So those are my stages of letting things go and understanding I can't control the outcome as long as we get to the outcome, and it's not good to control the people.
Yeah. And I think it's such a reckoning. Because for many apostles, and apostles now using apostle in the marketplace, for many apostles, you're a starter of things. So you're so these are your babies. You've watched them grow. You've watched them start from scratch. You birthed, you conceived. You've had great thoughts about what this thing was going to look like.
Poured into.
And now other people are running with it without consulting you. You're like, wait a minute.
You have to deal with yourself. Yeah. It's even the same with children. I mean, I'm telling you, when Althea got married, you see, it's happy. I'm happy she's getting married.
Yes.
Hey, but at the same time, it's almost killing me. It's always destroying because I'm like, I've always been responsible for you. Who are these people who are coming? Who is this person who is trying to come and be responsible for you?
Don't they even know what it takes
to raise a child?
A young woman like
what I've been through. So it's that, and then letting go. And you see, you can become that person who is not let. You have to let go. You have to let go. And even children is the hardest thing. And I'm sure even some people, their visions, their businesses, their marketplace roles, it's like a baby. You've nurtured, grown it, but you have to, at some point, you have to let go. And believe that what you have placed in them is able to carry.
I think that's such a powerful thing. Believe that what you've placed in them is valuable.
Yeah.
You reach a point where you're training, you're doing everything when you're starting. Then you bring in people, you start to teach them how to do it. You reach a place where now because God is expanding you, and He will. The vision is given you is a global vision.
Yeah,
so it's going to expand you for sure. And as He expands you, start taking you away from the country and making sure your assignment is such that you will be back just in time to experience whatever it is. The only way you can do that is if you've placed in place systems and processes, and you've empowered the people.
Yes.
I'm hearing you talking about, Apostle. You're talking about give the people the vision.
And the
Paint
space.
the picture.
Paint the picture.
Give them the assignment and then walk away.
Yeah, give them the DNA. Because even with David and Solomon, like you're talking about, David now, God said he can't build a temple.
Yeah.
He had to trust that Solomon, with all their, you see, because there's so many things missing from the Bible. We're not privy to David's mentoring and raising Solomon. But you can imagine if he raised mighty men, if he raised the men who are distressed, discontent, and in debt, what he did for his own son. Yeah. But then his son had when God said David can't build the temple, David did not argue. He did something good. He went and he raised the money to build it, but he let Solomon build it.
Yeah.
He knew Solomon could do it.
Wow.
And look at Solomon now passing on excellence until the Queen of Sheba comes. But those things, I'm sure he was taught in David's house. Yes. Because Abraham, even it says he had 318 trained servants
in his house.
We were not taught how he trained them. Yes. But they were trained.
Yeah.
So the same with David. The fact that Solomon executed with excellence means he got the training.
As you speak about this, I see an aspect of family, and you speak passionately about family as one of the key pillars of the things that drive you. How do we cultivate this in the family space? And what leadership lessons has family taught you that business never could?
What leadership lessons that family has taught me?
As you cultivate this conversation of excellence.
I'm thinking some of the things that we've talked about, like order. So you see, and the thing is, even with order, I'm trying to give examples. Look at me and Althea and my mom. Things were modeled. And for us, even we came from a generation where we were not even told why we had been told to do what we're doing. We just did it. Right? Maybe the hard generation, we would have to explain why we're doing this, yeah? Yes. So I think the one thing I'd say is modeling.
What she's about to go through with Alora.
I can't. As a matter of fact, that's the best thing about grandparents. Yeah. Now we sit and observe and also spoil, because we're not even helping with the story. We're like, it's you parents.
Catalyzing and adding fuel to the drama.
Everything they say no, we say yes. Everything. And we say, and you know now, you even now take me for, I always tell her, she says, Mom, I said please. Yeah. The part of saying no is
that's your business. Yeah.
Me, my domain, the answer is yes. Yes to everything we want to do. So you parents, us guys, we can't parent. Yeah. So I'm thinking it's things that were modeled and taken from one generation to another. It's so amazing because you see, like now, there's an example I'm thinking of. Althea would finish her homework on Friday. That's a must in my house. You have a whole weekend in front of you. I really don't care. Finish the homework on Friday.
Wow.
Pack your bag for Monday on Friday. Lay
getting
out
tips.
and this is
guys, I'll be coming for you.
This is kindergarten.
Yeah, wow.
This was in her early stages. So homework is done on Friday. Get your bag ready for Monday. What is required in that bag? Get diary signed. Then enjoy your weekend. Wow. But there's no enjoying the weekend until you have done all the... There's nothing for until we'll do it on Saturday or Sunday last Monday. Night. There's nothing like that. On Friday, we finish the business of the week. And it's something that I've seen her now carried on. She's very militant. She says, you know, most people say you don't want to be like your mother. Militant is who she is. So it was modeled.
The order was modeled.
Order was modeled from my mom to me, how I've raised her, and I can see it now with Laura.
Wow.
When she was sleep training her, I was like, I can't even watch this. I ran away because the child cries. I was like, no, she can't cry when I'm here.
Yeah.
But look now, the order it has raised. People, Laura has her naps. She has when she sleeps, when she wakes up. The order is crazy. It's like a military operation. Yeah. But any mother out there will tell you it's like a military operation. Any business that's operating in order, it's like a military operation. Yes. We open at this time. Yes. This is what we stock. This is how we position our stock. Yes. This is how we reorder. It's all about training and modeling. This is how we meet people. This is how we greet them.
What are you currently investing in that may bear fruit long after you're gone?
I think I'm really investing in the next generation and even my current generation. I'm wondering my peers, and just really pouring out mentorship, coaching, why things of life. You know, sometimes we think that people know things that they don't know. So just pouring myself. That's something that I'm really investing in. I'm definitely investing in the Just Angie Legacy table. Yeah. Because that's now the podcast space. And then just continue to train and equip leaders through purpose-led leadership. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm investing in. I'm investing in people, even with Mavuno Marketplace, the movement. Yeah. It's about investing in people, investing in events, investing in the marketplace so that people are better in the marketplace, but also in the pillars of spiritual, wealth creation, family, marriage, and relationships, and then purpose and leadership. I think that's where my focus is.
Apostle, I see your call many times very much like Paul.
Oh, thank you.
Where, as in, there are too many destinies connected to this one. We don't have time for them to figure it out themselves. So we arrest you right where you are.
Yeah.
Looking at our conversation today as we begin to wrap up, what system should every entrepreneur or the entrepreneurs listening to this or the people in the marketplace listening to this begin to document?
I think for me, documenting is why you did it.
Yes.
And how.
Okay.
Because sometimes, we do things and people can see things, but we can assume a lot of things. So I think documenting, why did you do this?
Why are we doing this? First of all,
why the vision? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why did we do it? Yeah. And how?
And how are we doing
They may not do exactly what you did, but it will give them an understanding of what you did, why you did it, and how you did it. It's very, very important.
It was very interesting the other day when because of we are not at the same venue at church. We're not at the same venue as we don't store equipment at the same venue as where the church is. And for a while, I didn't know why. I kept saying, we need to document what we have.
Yes, in terms of equipment.
What we don't have.
Yes.
But more than that is we need to document how when we remove it.
And when you bring it back.
Bring it back. We need to document how we set it up and how we set it down.
Yes.
And all those things seem like very obvious things. But when you start experiencing breakages, when no one can explain why a certain piece is missing, how something broke, then you begin to realize there's need for that and really having the processes for that. Well, you need to document your system. First of all, you need the systems. You need the processes. But more than that is that every opportunity to engage with people, if you're looking to grow anything, every opportunity you engage with people is about passing on the process, passing on the system, passing on the step-by-step approach towards ensuring that value is delivered. The growth that you've been waiting for may just be being held back by your lack of process. Again, we talked about capacity. So identify the systems that you have in place. It starts by identifying the process. Just start documenting the steps you take towards delivering the service or the product that you have. And you'll realize that many of those things you see as just steps are actually entire processes in themselves. As you unpack that, you begin to see the system that is you delivering value for your clients, you're delivering value for your customers, you're delivering value for your systems. But most of all, at the most basic level, what is the system by which your home runs? What is the system by which your life runs on a day-to-day? Because charity begins at home. Jesus said it this way: you will do this in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the world. So before you can fix this at your organization, fix it in your personal space. That is what we'll leave you with today. And I'll invite Pastor Angie to just pray for us as we conclude.
Wow. Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you so much. Thank you for giving us this amazing series on excellence, on order, on succession and legacy and planning. We honor you greatly. And I pray that each and every person, Father, no matter how young or how old, will start thinking about their legacy and how they're going to pass on this legacy, how there's going to be excellence in their succession, Father, as we saw it modeled with David and Solomon, Father. May it be so, Father. May we be teaching and training. And may we realize, even when we're not saying classes in session, our own lives are modeling. Everything we do, every action, every decision is modeling to somebody else how to do it. Let us be very careful and intentional.
We think about growth as we think about the next level, as we think about impact. Generationally, we must only think about systems. Thank you for being here with us. This has been Fearless Business, where we challenge you to go forth
and be fearless.